Hey everybody, Stan Efferding here, founder of The Vertical Diet and co-founder of The Vertical Meal Prep. It's time for another 10 Talk while I take my 10-minute walk. Thanks for keeping me company. Now people always ask me, what's the best diet? The answer is actually quite simple, but you'd never know it from listening to the endless barrage of diet information on TV, radio, social media, or from anyone you may have asked. Scientists, scholars, diet coaches, and companies are all arguing amongst themselves as to which diet is the best equipped to win the war on obesity. And it's for good reason. Obesity rates have skyrocketed over the last 50 years. And premature deaths from obesity-related diseases, such as heart disease and diabetes, have reached epidemic proportions. Now, unfortunately, as I said before, in the war on obesity, you're at war with yourself. The enemy is also the victim. You're both the source of the problem and the only solution. Now, the good news is that 6 out of every 7 people who start a diet lose weight. The bad news is over 90% of them put it all back on within 3 years. Now, if you want to lose weight and keep it off, it can be confusing and frustrating, trying to make sense of all the information. But you can't wait for the professionals to figure this out for you. The clock is ticking. The sooner you get started, the better. But where do you begin? Now, back in 1998, I got tired of working for other people. So I bought a book about successful people. It was called The Millionaire Next Door. I learned a lot from that book that also applies to dieting. You see, success leaves clues. Studying the methods and behaviors of millionaires helped me to become successful in business. Fortunately, there have been tens of thousands of successful dieters from whom we can also learn valuable lessons. One such resource is the National Weight Loss Control Registry. Now, this registry tracks the methods and behaviors of over 10,000 successful dieters who have lost more than 10% of their body weight and kept it off for over a year. Now, what can we learn from them? Now, first and foremost, successful businesses and successful dieters start with a plan and stick to it. The majority of dieters use a diet plan. 98% of them modify their food intake, and 94% of them increase their physical activity. The math is pretty simple. Millionaires spend less than they earn. Successful dieters eat less than they burn. So what's the best diet? A meta-analysis of 11 popular named diets showed no significant difference in weight loss after 1 year. I'll attach a reference. So whether you choose paleo, keto, carnivore, or the vertical diet, it doesn't matter. So what does matter? Exercise? Maybe not. While 90% of successful dieters exercise 1 hour a day, studies show exercise only has a modest impact on weight loss when compared with a control group of dieters who don't exercise. I'll attach a reference. Now, how about eating breakfast? 78% of successful dieters eat breakfast. But research suggests equivalent outcomes when you eat breakfast or not. I'll also attach a reference. Now, how about the glycemic index? Nope. Studies show no difference in weight loss for low GI foods versus high GI foods. Meal frequency? Nope again. Eating 2 meals a day or 6 meals a day has the same outcome. At the end of the day, when all the arm waving and finger pointing subsides and the smoke clears, the number 1 predictor of success, drum roll please, is compliance. The most consistent dieters have the best outcomes. This was even true in the short term, when comparing 7-day-a-week dieters to those who had cheat days. There's a linear relationship for success for consistent dieters over 5-day-a-week dieters. In business, as in sport, I've often said that you can be great at anything, but you can't be great at everything. The best outcomes are achieved when you avoid distractions and stay focused on your goal. The majority of successful dieters tend to eat the same foods regularly. Go through the house and throw away all the diet distractions. The potential problem with cheat meals or increased meal variety is twofold. First, when you eat what you're hungry for, food reward tends to make us eat more of it. And second, we're terrible at estimating calories. Restaurant calorie counts are often off by up to 50%. And even food labels can vary by up to 20%. So what's the easiest way to comply with whatever diet you choose? Fortunately, this has been studied as well. A meta-analysis published in Obesity Reviews found the single most successful method for diet compliance was meal prep. Dieters who prepped their meals in advance or used a meal prep company were more likely to be successful than those who used a clinician or any other commercially available program, including wearables or other internet-based programs. Now, whether they prepared the meals themselves or used Jenny Craig, Weight Watchers, or even our vertical meals, having a refrigerator full of pre-portioned meals was the best predictor of success. Now, once you have a plan in place and a method to execute the plan, the last piece is measuring your progress. Successful entrepreneurs carefully track income and expenses. 85% of successful dieters weigh themselves regularly and watch their calories. Make a checklist and track your compliance. Track your weight, your measurements, your meals, your 10-minute walks, and your sleep. Now, I know that some people are born with money, and others have to work hard for it. The same is true with dieting. Don't get frustrated, and don't compare yourself to anyone else. What works for me doesn't work for everyone, and what works for most people may not work for you. There are no free rides, and there are no all-you-can-eat diets. A successful diet isn't something you go on and off. There is no finish line. The behaviors that make you successful need to become part of your lifestyle. My business mentor once told me, the more you have, the harder you work to keep it. With dieting, the more weight you lose, the harder it is to maintain it. And that's because the more money you make, the less you get to keep. We call that taxation. And the more weight you lose, the fewer calories your body burns. We call that metabolic adaptation. Now, it won't always be easy, and there will be plateaus along the way. But if you stick to your plan, you will be successful. Look, I sell a diet. I designed it to be simple, sensible, and sustainable. I also sell meals, and they're healthy and delicious. But there's no magic formula to achieve wealth, and there's no magic formula to lose weight. And I'll be the first to tell you that there are many paths to the same destination, and there are many great diet plans out there. Dr. Lane Norton has an excellent diet called Fat Loss Forever. Dr. Mike Israetel's Renaissance Diet and Precision Nutrition's diet are also excellent. I've read them all. I think Mark Bell did a great thing recently. He encouraged people to try different diets for 30 days. He started with keto, then carnivore, then the vertical diet, so people could see which one they like best. Now, I believe all of this has helped us to finally answer the most important question, once and for all. What's the best diet? The one you'll follow. All diets work when they're strictly adhered to. So pick a path, get started, and always remember, compliance is the science. Well, that's about the end of my walk and my 10 talk. Be sure to check out stanefferding.com or theverticaldiet.com to download a digital copy of my vertical diet or to order vertical meals delivered to your door in the 48 states. Thanks for keeping me company.